So it's all about the development of skill. Once you develop your skill and you become better, you're going to want to charge more. You're going to want to develop better opportunities. Let's say 5 years from now, when your channel is a lot more subs, millions more, hundreds of millions more views, you're going to be able to charge for your services a lot more than you charge today because you have more experience, more seasonality. You're going to be better at refining your product. Your offer is going to be better. So in that process, I would say that a lot of people don't realize that as they grow and as they scale, they should charge more. They should get paid in proportion to the difficulty of the problems that they solve. So when you solve big problems, you should get paid a lot. So I want to solve problems of the future. Once again, right? I want to be focused on getting really good so that I can solve problems of the future. What are the problems of the future that AI won't be able to solve? I want to solve those. They're going to have a premium to it. What are they? I don't know all of them. I'm trying to discover it. But you can see guys like Gary Brecka making millions of dollars a month on gene testing, blood work, things that are readily available. But he packages it. He presents it in a personable way. He simplifies the concept so that the average person can understand. They don't have to fucking go and listen to the doctor in a fluorescent light bulb lit room with no windows. They can watch it from the beach, listen to Gary Brecka on their phone. They listen to him, they understand what he's saying, and he makes money in the process. So the entire symbiosis of how we've operated is changing. And I think the testament is very obvious. It used to be taboo when we were talking about making money online like 8 years ago. It was kind of like weird. Today, there isn't just 1,000 examples. There's millions of examples, dude. Millions. How many no-face YouTube channels are making thousands a month? How many no-face Instagram channels? You don't even have to be online. You just have to fucking put shit out there. Yeah. And you're gonna get money. You're literally casting the net into an ocean full of fish. And it's just like every time you make money and make money and make money. But it comes with the development of skill. And people need to understand that when your skill level goes up, your value goes up, and you want to get paid in proportion to the value that you provide. A lot of people either don't understand that they have to provide massive value, or they think that they're going to deserve a lot of money for solving nothing. So focus on solving high-level problems or problems that are going to be worth a lot in the future.
How do you practically identify how much value you're providing to the marketplace? Because I think a lot of people don't know what to charge. When you go into businesses and advise them, like how do you devise what kind of equity you take? You know?
So it's intrinsic. It depends on the value that you provide. If I go right now to, what would be a great example? If I go right now to Gymshark and I say, hey guys, I'll build you a distribution campaign, I could probably guarantee them $10 million in sales from distribution and maybe 2 billion views. What is that worth, right? Well, there's a specific CPM cost as to how much the views are worth. So I can mathematically calculate it based off of the CPM that we agree upon. You're going to generate sales. So what is my commissional revenue, or what's my percentage of that sales? Because I can use affiliate tracking so that it's a symbiotic relationship. When you're talking about providing value, people think about making money up front. And when you're actually good at what you do, first you build the product or you build the service, and then you build the business. What is building the business? Building a relationship with the customer, building the trust. I would want you to be my customer for 30 years instead of getting a new customer every year. Definitely. Which means, what do I need to do? I need to work on the product, and I need to work on the service, and the service needs to work. So if the service works, the customer is going to continue coming back. So I don't need to focus on an offer that's crazy high. I don't need to focus on over pitching or closing the deal. I need to focus on offering a really high quality service that is fair. I've come to realize that most people are fair. I don't think people are, you said, I think everybody's good. I could take you to places in the world where you might change your mind on that, but I think most people think that they're being fair.
That's more so what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
They
so like
they're doing the right thing.
They're like, they cope. It's like that coping of, I'm good. People have this kind of inside of their ingrained in them. So yeah, man, I've just witnessed that when you provide so much value up front and people trust you, then it's just so much easier to make money long term. And once you have a little bit of money, let's say $100,000, and you can pay for the next 18 months of rent and the 18 months of food, that means you have an 18-month gap to provide massive value and rapport to the marketplace. And then after 18 months, you can go back to making money. We've you know the problem in our society? We have attributed efficiency, productivity, and value to the amount of dollars that we output. But what if there was other things that we could output that are not just dollars? What if all that we do is not just output dollars? What if what we output is attention? What if what we output is creativity? What if we output is advice? So people are working and they're expecting just dollars in return. But if you build a relationship, then people trust you and pay you because they know that long term you have their best interest in mind. So when you go with a winning offer, like, hey, I'll do this for extremely cheap, or here's a CPM, and you break it down and you don't try to finesse them, it's really easy to get clients. The second way to get clients is through what? Reviews. Other people saying, hey, this guy's really good. How is somebody going to say you're really good? By your product being good. Because if you refer, let's say your cameraman, he's the best, and I need a cameraman. You see my Instagram story, and you refer me his service, and I love the service, I'm going to say thank you to you.
Yeah.
So you're going to share the service. Remember, we're talking about the symbiosis of the platform, the individual. It's the same thing, right? In the trilateral relationship, it's the same thing. You get what? You get good rapport with Luke, but you gave him what? A connection. It didn't cost you anything.
Yeah.
But now it's kind of like a favor. But he fulfilled the favor. So this is kind of how the symbiotic relationship works. And I think that once you're building product, and this can happen at a digital level like Amazon, where everybody, hey, go on Amazon, go buy it on Amazon. You're referring their business, man.
Yeah.
That's a word of mouth referral. Or whether it's an agency service or whatever it may be, word of mouth referral is incomparable to anything else. That's how PayPal took off. Referring people to sign up to PayPal, just give them $10. Everybody's like, yo, sign up to PayPal. Mom, sign up. Dad, sign up. Took off. Guys, we made $50.
Yeah.
Hey, we hit our numbers. So in that relationship, that symbiotic relationship, I think business gets reframed from profit driven to longevity driven. I don't want to focus on hitting next quarter's numbers. That's not the objective, because then you're thinking in quarters. If I thought in quarters, I could never build the Sistine Chapel. If I thought in quarters, I could never build the Great Wall of China. If I thought in quarters, I could never build New York City or Manhattan. I can't think in quarters. A lot of these things that are taking place are thought in quarters. And that's good for certain things. But if you want to not take a company public and build long-term, I want long-term customers. I want long-term vendors. It makes life so much easier.
Are you big on under-promising and over-delivering?
Absolutely. I hate telling, when I launched Capital Club, the digital platform last year, and we did almost 8 figures in the first launch with no paid traffic, I didn't tell people what they were getting.
Yeah.
It was a black page with a checkout. And it did almost $10 million. And people paid without knowing. And what did they get? Well, they entered this digital experience where you have this full built out entrepreneur academy. So people are learning Amazon FBA, Google Ads, e-commerce, drop shipping, stock market trading, investing from the best in the world. They're like, oh, wow, this is surprising. Then they go to the marketplace, next tab, and they're like, what is this? And they're like, oh, wait, I get 50% off my Shopify discount. All these services that I need for my business, I get a discount on. Oh, okay, wow. So now I'm actually making money on what I paid Luke? Wow, my expectations have been over exceeded. Why? Because there was no expectations in the first place, because nothing was promised. Then they head over to the network. Oh, Luke is hosting an event in Singapore for all the Capital Club members? Dude, I'm flying to Singapore. Buy low, sell high. Everything in life is buy low, sell high. Give people what they want, charge them a little bit for it, and give them so much more than they could ask for. And they'll continue to come back.
Yeah. I'm guessing you've had such little churn with Capital Club.
No churn rate. No churn rate, no chargebacks. I have a $15,000 high-end kind of club for elite entrepreneurs, 7 to 9 figures. Everybody signs up every single year again. I have a 90% retention rate. Why? Because, for example, Jordan Welch and Lior from AutoDS, they met at Capital Club. How did Jordan Welch close his multi-million-dollar exit for his business? Because he went to Capital Club and he met his buyer, and they formed a relationship. The bond was formed there. That's a lot of value. That's what I want. They paid me, they got together, they made their money's worth in multiples. Now they'll come back. Why? Because it's worth it. The testament is proven there. Next time, hey guys, get me in the deal. Let me cut you a check too. And that's how you begin to share. And you build that symbiotic relationship where it's not competing egos. You have a higher purpose, which is a decentralized entrepreneur network, which is what Capital Club is supposed to be. It's not supposed to be this business. I might be turning it into a nonprofit or something along that range where it can actually be more democratized. So I've been thinking about a couple verticals there.
What unique or unusual businesses are people building in Capital Club that like not a lot of people know about that make a lot of money? Because I heard you talk about GTA 6 and building like $1 million businesses on that.
Yeah, and I got grilled by some people when I was talking about Grand Theft Auto 6, but it makes a lot of sense if you begin to read every top comment on every fucking reel on any post on Instagram. Before Grand Theft Auto 6, before Grand Theft Auto 6, every post. What is that? That's the cumulative of 10 years of good rapport, reputation, and a really good fucking product. 10 years of attention that is going to be instantly dumped into the next game. There's going to be a lot of bilateral opportunities that are going to be emitted from that digital gold rush opportunity. Just like from 1848, where there was mass attention, there's mass opportunity. You don't think people are going to sell skins or resell top profiles or have a website that has all the leaks? Well, you have all the leaks, you just run an ad banner and you're making ad revenue.
Yeah.
They're making money off of the attention that Rockstar and whatever the entire gaming ecosystem has produced. They're leeching from it by also providing value, something that's symbiotic in the ecosystem. So I talk about Grand Theft Auto 6 because it's going to be an attention driver. Crypto right now, super hot. Everybody's talking about crypto. Why? It's the cycle, it's the bull run. The attention is there. You can make millions of dollars. If you have no money, you can go moderate for some discords, make $500. You can make a full-time income online if you actually wanted to in the next 30 days. Is it a job? Yeah, but it's better than actually going and flipping some fucking fries. I'll tell you that. Or putting on a uniform when you can work from home. Oh, well, I can't do it. Okay, well, that's fine. That's fine. Like, no, do whatever you want. But I'm gonna take advantage of the gold rush.